I'm Sara Butler. I'm the King George III Professor of British History and the History Department here at Ohio State. I'm a medieval historian, and my focus is on the history of violence, law, and essentially looking at death investigation in the Middle Ages. So first of all, why do we always think that the medieval world was more violent than ours? Because it makes us feel better as human beings. And I think that's really it. People like to look at history as a story of progress, with us constantly getting better and better. When in reality, we have become much more violent in our lives, and our capacity for violence is actually pretty terrible. Now, having said that, we can't compare like daily rates of violence or anything like that, simply because we just don't have decent enough records for that sort of thing. But I think it's fair to say that in the Middle Ages, generally, the only people who were allowed to be violent were knights. Being violent was what they did. It's who they were. If anybody else tried to be violent, they actually ended up getting in trouble for it. So duking it out in the streets, no, maybe sneaking over there in the dark of night and dealing with things if there was no other way to deal with it. But quite frankly, it was a much more legal-minded society than we are today. And just to give you a little bit of a sense here, there are a lot of things that we take for granted. We think that we can wear what we want to wear. And maybe people will look at us and say, well, that was the wrong outfit for the occasion, but we get to wear what we want. Their clothing was regulated by law. How often they could eat meat was regulated by law. Things that, again, we may feel are kind of new, something like hunting licenses. Oh no, if you wanted to hunt in the Middle Ages, you definitely needed a license. All of these things were very much regulated in a way that I think we just don't expect. It was a very litigious society, and the law intruded in people's lives on a daily basis, and people were okay with a lot of that.